Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Tom's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. I'm Vin Finelli. Captain John Regan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
I'm here.
Hey, John. Hey, thanks for being with us. You know, John, it wasn't like 1 minute to 9 today. It wasn't. It was like, 8:35, right? You got to call it 8:35?
Yeah, lots of time.
25 minutes to get ready for the broadcast. And that's because we got a call this morning, and Ricky's okay. He's fine. He just needed the day off. So he called about 25 minutes before the broadcast, and he asked if he could have the day off. And we said, sure. So Ricky's fine. But he's not here. John Regan is here, and I'm delighted you're with us, John Regan. I wanted to tell you, I got a note from Joey in Michigan. And the note from Joey said, and this was yesterday, and by the way, this is all your fault, John Regan. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't even there. But the note said that Joey in Michigan was calling in to listen on the listen line. And he kept getting recording that said, due to heavy call volume, the listen line was not available. That would be our listen line, because we have our own listen line. So let me give you another number. Here are a couple numbers. But so that's all your fault, John. You did it. So a listen line, the one listen line is 605-562-4080. 605-562-4080. And if that one is tied up, here's another one. Last two numbers are 7727. So same number, except the last four digits are 7727. Let me give you the first one again. 605-562-4080. So you can listen 24/7 on your phone. 605-562-4080. And if that doesn't work, 7727. Let's see. John, I'm going to be in Mountain Home, Arkansas on Saturday, and I'm going to be teaching a seminar, absolutely free, on how to start your own business and take the same tax deductions that the rich take. Judy Dollarhite's going to be there, and she's going to be talking about water filtration, and we'll have the USA Prepares inventory of ProPure water filtration systems and some Black Berkey filters if you'd want those at the lowest. Oh, I can't say that. At the same price. At the same price as everyone else, except we're going to offer you an instant rebate. And there's, when we offer an instant rebate, it's not like you have to fill out a form or have a coupon. We just go, oh, here's the regular price everybody else sells them for, and we're going to give you an instant rebate. So we do a subtraction, and then you end up getting it right then and there. It takes like a nanosecond to do this instant rebate, and we do all the work for you. So anyway, that's Judy Dollarhite. She's going to be there. John Dollarhite will be there. Tim Starks will be talking about self-defense techniques. He doesn't want you to be a victim. Let's see. John Moore's going to be talking about violent climate change. Sam Bushman's going to be there. He's going to be talking about he who owns the media makes the rules. That's a great presentation. Let's see. Dr. James Caesar is going to be teaching about surgery when there is no doctor. Mike Knox from White Harvest Seeds is going to be talking about heirloom seeds versus GMOs. So that's Saturday and Sunday at the Baxter County Fairgrounds in Mountain Home, Arkansas this weekend. I'm only going to be there on Saturday. Well, I might be there for 2 days, but depending on whether I need to cut hay or not. I might be there just Saturday. So plan on me just being there Saturday, but I might be there Sunday if the weather is not conducive to cutting and baling hay. If it is, I've got to get back to the farm. Mountain Home, Arkansas, and the event is called the Preppers and Patriots Expo. Preppers and Patriots Expo. Mountain Home, Arkansas, this weekend. So I'm all excited about that. So if you decide to start your business, do it right this second, and then your trip down at 56.5 cents per mile is deductible from your taxes, and your trip back home is deductible at the same rate, and meals are deductible, and if you decide that you need a new shirt and a new pair of shoes, because you're going to a class, that can be deductible as well. Am I kidding? Absolutely not. John Regan, where would you like to start today?
Well, the drought reports get released on Thursday, so we've got new drought reports. Mm-hmm. So we could start with a tale of two droughts.
Okay.
And if you look at California, you'll see that basically there's no change. Last week, this week, it's the same thing. In Texas, it's a little different story. Last week, we had a little over 3% of the state in drought condition 2, which is severe drought. This week, there's none of that. Last week, we had 15% that was at least in moderate drought. That's down to just over 5%. And we've gone from 70% of the state not being in drought last week to 82% not being in drought this week. It's that's pretty amazing, especially when you consider a year ago, only 10% of the state was not in drought. They thought that if conditions were right, it would take years to get out of this condition. We've done it basically in about a month. And there's more storms coming through tonight and into Saturday. If the airport here gets about 1 1/3 inches of rain, it will officially be the wettest May on record. And we're only about 3/10 of an inch away from becoming second on the list. And it's not exactly a record people are looking for. And as bad as things are around here, it's even worse down in Houston. There's been over 1,000 homes damaged or destroyed. And the flooding's so bad, we've even had people evacuate the cemeteries, coffin included.
Yeah, I was reading about that, and one of the problems is that there's air inside some of these vaults, and they float. They'll tend to float right out of the ground, when there's severe flooding. But how about the sewage, the raw sewage that has cross-connected with the groundwater supply, the raw sewage that is contaminated, neighborhoods? How about all that? How about the lack of planning? How about the lack of good design? And who does that? So, as far as I know, John, I don't know of any private water treatment systems, that treat sewage. It's a municipality or a county or a city operation, right? So here we have another government failure where raw sewage is floating down the streets and entering into people's basements. The amount of damage from this is just in dollars. Just measured in dollars is just enormous. And in measured in life, it's way, way, way more than that. Because even one lost life is way too much. Lack of preparedness, lack of survival skills. And then you combine that with the fact that the government is manipulating the weather. And I look at this as murder. I really do. I look at what the government is doing with the chemical spraying as murder. And I think these criminals should be tried, arrested, jailed, tried, convicted, and put in prison. Hard labor for the death and destruction of those around us. It's out of control. And I've been accumulating tools. I've been accumulating knowledge, manuals, information, so that we'll be better off when we try to survive, what's coming next. But John, this is just one degree of the 360 degrees of threats all around us. I mean, you have to add to this the power failures that have, so we have the rain and we have the flooding, and then we have the supply chain disruption in that immediate area, then the power outages in that immediate area, then we have the bacterial infections that are in that immediate area from the lack of sanitation and the raw sewage that's floating around. Then we have all the animals that have died and all the cars that have flipped upside down and floated down the road and crashed into houses and stuff. Trees that have landed across bridges and damaged bridges. The infrastructure, the impact on the infrastructure is enormous. And we let these criminals get away with this manipulation of the weather. Over here, we have nice rain, more rain, overcast, so the hay isn't growing because it needs the normal amount of sunlight. We're not getting the normal amount of sunlight because why? Well, that's because it's overcast all the time, or darn near all the time. If it's not overcast, it's like, wow, what's happened? But look at the weather, it's great. It's over. It only lasts for a few seconds, when we have sunlight. So the grass isn't growing properly. The cows won't get the nutrition. It's not just our cows, it's all the cows. So it's damaging the food supply over here in Missouri. We haven't been flooded yet. A few years ago, we had a drought. Now we have way too much rain, but not enough sunlight. Yeah. And some people would say, well, no, this is all natural. This is all natural. These are climate extremes. That's all natural. Nonsense. We've had a lot to do with it. John Regan and I will be right back. John Regan, the financialstateoftheunion.com. And click on that and then click on the news tab and we can follow along all together. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe, but what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years, and Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendivite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. All over America, people are suffering from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, irregular heartbeat, clogged arteries, and high cholesterol. Can you live your life free from sickness, pain, and fear, and experience your body healing itself? Look to Heart and Body Extract, an all-natural supplement that aids ailing bodies. It has an exclusive formula of wild-crafted and organic herbs. End the pain without all the side effects of prescription drugs. People 20 years younger will envy your vitality. Want a happier, healthier you? Then go to heartandbody.com or call toll-free 866-295-5305 for free information. Heart and Body Extract offers a lifetime guarantee with no price increase in over 14 years. What are you waiting for? Call Heart and Body now at 866-295-5305 for your free information. Go to heartandbody.com, 866-295-5305. Distributor inquiries welcome.
Captain John Regan's with us, and John, I got a call from Miles in Europe yesterday after the broadcast, and he heard me talking about some of the problems that we're having on the farm, and one of those problems is I said several days ago, I'm all excited because I have only one more hydraulic hose that can fail, on one of our tractors, because I've replaced all of them except one at that point. And they kept failing and failing and failing. And they're fairly expensive. We're talking about a hose with some couplings on the end of it and connectors, maybe $100 a piece on average. Some of them are more than that. And this tractor has a front end loader, and just one hydraulic leak, we're spraying oil. It's not good for the environment. The oil's expensive, and eventually you'll destroy the transmission, within a few minutes and the hydraulic pump if you don't fix this problem immediately. So I started the tractor after I replaced that hydraulic hose, and sure enough, the last remaining hydraulic hose popped, spraying oil. And so now I've got them all replaced. And I mentioned that, and Miles called and he said, it's not just us. In Europe, they're having the same problem. It's the non-ionizing radiation that is eating these rubber products. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I went to St. Louis 2 days in a row, yesterday and the day before, and I was picking up some materials, and I noticed, I don't get out much, and I noticed the number of tire carcasses on the highway, a whole bunch of them. I mean, it was almost like a minefield trying to drive around these carcasses in the road. So this non-ionizing radiation that is destroying rubber products is destroying tires, serpentine belts, fan belts, rubber products on cars. They're failing. We have another vehicle here at the farm that has 3 hydraulic hose leaks in addition to the tractors. So it's not like, we set out looking for items to leak. It's not like that. These are just failures that are happening. And the hydraulic hoses and components are really, really expensive. The dealer wants $5,400 to replace 3 hydraulic hoses. I'm not doing it. So I found a workaround, and that's what I will do. I can solve the problem for about between $1,400 and $1,600 instead of $5,400 at the dealer. So that's what we're going to do. The bottom line is, if you have vehicles, so where's the solution in all this? Well, if you have vehicles, try to keep them parked outside where the sun is not going to shine on the rubber products. Try to do that. And you'll probably save some money in preventing hydraulic failures. So I just wanted to share that tip. John Regan, back to you.
So you're saying that the observations of your trip is there's a lot of people that are now retired.
They are retired. They absolutely are, because you can just count the number of people who have become or who have retired because of the number of carcasses. You're absolutely right. And there are these strips of serpentine, fan belts, and other rubber products in the road. So it's not just us, and it's not just here at the farm. It's in St. Louis. It's along the highways. It's along the interstate. It's along the back roads, and it's in Europe as well. So it's a serious problem. So when we look at the weather, John, it's not just a nuisance. People are dying from the flooding. It used to be that I could buy a tire for less than $100 for a truck. Not anymore. A tractor tire for one of our tractors is close to $1,000. That's one. Now, we might want to buy two, like both rear tires instead of just one. It's really, really becoming cost prohibitive. And for those who think that, Barry's right and the economy's just sailing along just beautifully, I'm telling you that the cost of replacement parts, is getting to be beyond unreasonable. It really is. And farmers, John, you brought this up. Farmers are looking at older equipment. I already bought our older equipment. I bought an old tractor, a 1970s vintage tractor, because I flat out do not want to be involved with the computer repair costs for a new tractor. I don't want to be part of that. So we have tractors that don't have computers, but some people have new tractors with really sophisticated hydraulic controls. And they're great to operate. They really are. But when they fail, you are absolutely at the mercy of someone else. And I'm not willing to do that. So think about that before you buy any equipment like those really cool lawnmowers that are fully hydraulic controlled. You might want to get something that's manual. John Regan, I'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Yuvia needed financing to grow her restaurant business, but her banks simply didn't understand.
I was frustrated.
Yuvia found On Deck Business Loans.
On Deck did it for me. I called on Saturday, and I had $50,000 in my account on Monday morning.
How about the terms?
Incredibly easy. It doesn't mess with your cash flow.
On Deck changed everything.
This company, On Deck, is going to be there for me.
Was it a good move?
I'm looking to increase sales probably 30%.
Been in business for at least a year with $100,000 plus in revenue? On Deck can get you $5,000 to $250,000 in as little as one business day, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau.
On Deck has opened up so many doors for me now. Truly, the sky is the limit. I'm excited.
Apply now at OnDeckLending.com or call 800-326-5430. 800-326-5430. 800-326-5430.
Loan subject to lender approval.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at AlkaVision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at AlkaVision.com. That's ALKAVision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at AlkaVision.com today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Are you suffering from EP? The symptoms include fraudulent charges to your credit card. Your subway card says it's empty, but you bought it yesterday. Someone's been in your hotel room, but the desk clerk says they only show you entering the room. These are signs of EP. Electronic pickpocketing. Payment cards, transit cards, even hotel room keys use a radio chip, so you could just wave your card at the register, the turnstile, or your hotel room door. But what's convenient for you is also convenient for thieves, waving scanners to electronically pickpocket you without even touching you. The good news is there's a cure. ID Stronghold has created leather wallets and clutches that have built-in EP protection. Layers of shielding material cleverly concealed in a beautiful leather wallet that stops the symptoms of EP. Go to idstronghold.com now and get the cure. idstronghold.com. Warning, ID Stronghold wallets could lead to feelings of safety and security, comfort in crowds, and euphoria. If you experience these emotions, immediately inform your friends and family about idstronghold.com so they can feel better.
John Regan's with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. John, back to you.
Well, Tuesday, I started connecting some dots, and we're going to expand on that a bit today. Towards the bottom of the post, there's an area called the agenda. And the first link is another 2300. Now, you really have to keep an eye on what the government does late Friday afternoon. That's when they do the news dump of items that they don't want people to know about, because everybody's getting ready for the weekend and the news ramps down. And when it's a holiday weekend like we just had, sometimes they push stuff like this through, where the regime announces plans for another 2,300 regulations. Of course, we don't have enough regulations already. And one of these is regulating ozone, which is going to be extremely expensive. Yeah, but of course, the economy's doing just fine.
Did you want me to comment?
I'm surprised.
I was thinking. Well, show me an AC electric motor that does not create ozone. You have to show me one, because I've never seen one. As a matter of fact, if you want to know what ozone smells like, you go near an electric motor that has brushes, and you'll be able to smell this, sweet smell. That's the smell of ozone. So Congress is going to regulate ozone. How about if they do this? How about if they don't have these junkets all over the world? How about if Congress actually stayed home and did what they were supposed to do?
This isn't Congress. This is the Obama.
Well, I understand. I understand. But wouldn't it be nice if Congress did stay home? Wouldn't it be nice if the president stayed home? Wouldn't it be nice if the military stopped blowing things up? Wouldn't it be nice if we reduced airline travel? Do we really need to fly everywhere? Do we really need to do that? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I've cut my travel down to the absolute minimum, As a matter of fact, I've been thinking about the meetups, and I've been thinking about having the meetups less often, for a lot of reasons. But we don't need to waste the energy that we're wasting. We really don't need to.
Part of the craziness about this is that these proposed ozone standards are so strict. They say about 100 state and national parks would be forced out of compliance because trees give off ozone too.
Well, let's just cut them all down. These guys are nuts. These guys are absolutely nuts. We need the trees. We need the grass. We talk about, our government talks about methane from cows. John, I submit to you that if we didn't have cows mowing down fields, it would be, we would turn into the woods would be taking over. We'd have vines and stickers and brush and everywhere. There would be no grass. And it's the cows that keep that mowed. And the cows are a great way to raise food. They really are. And they do a service. They eat stuff that most animals don't want to eat, like grass. This is really upsetting to me, John. The overregulation is absolutely destroying this country. And then, of course, we have news items like Bill Clinton is thinking about, becoming the first man back in the White House. His lying, cheating, stealing ways. Imagine that again. And his wife. Can you imagine another 8 years of the Clintons? Can you imagine the damage that they've done? John, I bought a piece of machinery to use at the farm. And what I found out was that, we used to, let me give you an example. I have this old lathe. It was built by an American company in the 1940s. So I bought this lathe, and I'm going to learn how to use it. I'm going to teach myself how to use it. And it's going to take me a couple of years to do that, just to get the basics understood. But the person who sold this lathe, it was, as a result of the death of the machinist, the family sold the lathe and it went through a few hands, and ultimately I bought it. But we don't have the hobbies that we used to have. People used to be able to go read a magazine called Popular Science, Popular Mechanics. You'd see where you could buy some hobby machinery and have a hobby. Woodworking, metalworking, welding, glass making. There's gardening, all kinds of hobbies that people had. We've lost the desire to even have hobbies. We've lost the desire to do things that we like to do because we don't like to do anything anymore. And I look at these skills that we've lost, and I'm concerned. I'm really concerned. I said I was with a man and his family last night near St. Louis, and I asked him about the man who owned this equipment that he was selling. And he told me, and I said, that seems like a great loss. This man that owned this equipment, he made the furniture that the machine sat on. Absolutely brilliant engineering out of wood. He made stands and tables and benches for things like table saws, radial arm saws, band saws, lathes. Absolutely brilliant. It's all painted the same color of gray, rounded corners, finished magnificently. Actually, works of art. And I mentioned that, his passing, although I've never met him, and I didn't even know his name until last night. What a great loss. And he must have been a great guy because he had a great attention to detail. Who has attention to detail anymore, John? We've lost it.
People can't even pay attention anymore.
Right. Right. We really can't. As a matter of fact, we're so distracted when the waitress comes by at a restaurant, people are on the phone and they're saying, well, wait a minute, just wait a minute. Let me finish this conversation. I'll tell you what I'd like to order. It's got to be a nuisance to the waitresses and the waiters and the restaurant staff. These, we're so distracted and we're distracted with nonsense. But what have we really accomplished? I know I'm off on a tangent here, but what have we accomplished when we come home and turn on the ball game? What have we accomplished? Have we made our nation stronger, more competitive? Have we helped our neighbors? I don't think so. I think it's me first. I think that's where we've become. We become me first. But this hobby thing really bothers me, John, because hobbies are things that we used to be passionate about. Things that you'd like to show our friends. Hey, look at this. Isn't this cool? Look, this, I made this myself. Isn't this neat? And you can do it too. And you can join the hobby too. And you can build your own outdoor furniture. I met a man last night who built a magnificent house. Absolutely magnificent. He took an old barn and he sawed the wood by hand. Well, with electric tools, but, the hard way. And he planed the wood and made his own wood flooring, and plenty of it. Made his own molding. Absolutely magnificent. And for his countertops, he did the neatest thing. He made molds. He made molds for concrete. And he poured concrete into countertops. Now, you don't pour it on the counter. You pour it into a mold, and then you finish it with like a polyurethane, and then you place it on top of your cabinetry, and then you set your kitchen sink in it. And it took a lot of engineering and creativity to make and finish these countertops. It's the coolest thing. But how many people do that? Nobody except this guy that I know of. And it was incredibly magnificent. It was beautiful. It was a work of art. But there's only one of them. I've never seen anything like it. He gave me a tour of his house last night. It was really neat. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that we've lost these hobbies, these passions, these desires to excel on our own. And we've traded that for cell phones and televisions. And while I'm on this tangent, John, I was trying really hard to listen to the radio last night. I was really tired. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was listening to the radio on the way home from St. Louis. It is what they're calling music is horrible. I couldn't find one song on any station, not one song on any station for well over an hour last night that I thought was pleasant and I'd want to listen to one more time. I forced myself to listen to different selections just to see what was out there. There's no rhyme. There's no lyrics. There's no melody. It's awful. You can't sing to any of this nonsense in the shower if you wanted to. It's not like the Beach Boys. It's not like the Beatles. It's not like the Mamas and Papas. It's not like any of the bands and groups that I grew up with that had talent. These guys that I'm listening to have zero talent, at least in my opinion. And that's just one more example of the decline of society. We can't even write songs anymore. Back to you.
Next up, forget about cheap energy. And we'll get into that when we come back.
Hey, John, will you take us back from the break?
If I'm turned up. Okay.
Tom, please turn John Regan up so he can take us back from the break. I'm Vin Finelli. This is USA Prepares. By now you know that usaprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit usaprepares.com. That's usaprepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. usaprepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. I'm Vincent Finelli of usaprepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Ouch! My back is out again.
Hi, Dr. Ortman with Wellspring Spinal Care. If you're experiencing neck, mid, or lower back pain, this information is for you. One of the complaints that I hear is patients receive their typical adjustment, only having to repeat them as the pain returns. Putting the bones back in place is only half of the battle. At Wellspring Spinal Care, we have the entire solution. We use the NUCA approach, utilizing three-dimensional x-rays and gentle touch technology to deliver specific correction. We then design a custom nutritional supplement program which provides essential nutrients targeting the areas of concern. With a NUCA approach and proper nutrition, you'll be on your way to a faster and more permanent recovery. To get you on the road to wellness, visit drortman.com. That's drortman.com, or call us today, 952-303-9124. That's 952-303-9124. Wellspring Spinal Care, chiropractic done right.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at goberkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
And this is your captain, John Regan. We're going to try a lightning round of pushing Vince's buttons before the top of the hour. Starting off, we've got, forget about cheap energy. And I don't remember if it was during the campaign or early during Barry's first term. He talked about how his policies would necessarily make energy prices skyrocket. Well, those rules are going to start coming out this summer, including one that would slash greenhouse gases from the power sector by 30%. It's going to be absolutely insane what we see out of that. Obama tells churches, forget about abortion and gay marriage. And I'll talk more about that when we get to the last link in this section. In Obama, climate change deniers are endangering national security. And this is what I was talking about Tuesday. Number one priority of the military is climate change. So if you're a climate change denier, you are an enemy combatant. And like Rick has said, with what's coming, the only thing that makes sense is to shut down all the nuclear plants. Well, we are getting ready to see a new round of adding nuclear energy because it's not carbon. And why we're having so many problems. The zombie apocalypse is already here. We've got people that will just invent logic to justify what they're seeing. And I'm not sure that there's a solution for this. I think the best we can do is, those that will listen, we work together and do things. Those that won't listen, well, they believe in Darwinism and survival of the fittest. They'll find out that they're not. And the last link is about freedom. And our Constitution says we're entitled to freedom of religion. However, what's starting to come out from the administration is freedom of worship. These are two different things. Freedom of worship was basically saying that whatever you call your house of worship, you can do whatever you want in there because that doesn't affect anybody. Now, if you come out to the real world and you don't want to promote sin, you can't do that. You don't have freedom of religion. You have to accommodate all the people that are Christophobes. Vincent?
What you said reminded me as you were talking about this, inventing logic to explain what people are seeing. I was talking with our son last night. I had the opportunity to spend some time with him in the truck last night. He took some time off to go to St. Louis with me. And he has his ear to the ground as to what's happening with precious metals. And so one of the parts of the discussions that we had in the truck, in these hours of driving yesterday, I asked him what people are doing in the precious metals arena. And he said, Dad, what's happening is people are selling their coin collections, they're selling their gold, their silver, and they're trading it for cash to pay bills because they'll say that they're broke. They will get rid of their assets, that they've saved a long time for to pay for the car bill, the car payment. And they're absolutely broke. And I said, okay, so do you see some of these people around town? And he said, yeah, I see them eating out. So they're eating out and they're broke. And this is kind of like that logic that you're talking about, people inventing. They shouldn't be doing any of that. They should be scrimping and saving, and yet they're wasting money going out to eat. It makes no sense at all. Same thing with ball games. We'll be right back.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state in back taxes, you know they'll never stop coming after you. With bank levies, wage garnishments, they'll even seize your home or business. The good news? A government program for tax debt forgiveness. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative.
I'm Paul Sibley with U.S. Tax Shield. We can help navigate the new laws, get you protected, and resolve your tax issues permanently.
Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield now for your free consultation and get a guaranteed quote to resolve your case. Call 800-436-6451. That's 800-436-6451.
Hi, this is Larry Smith. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. When the cleaners ruined some special clothing, all they could do was show us a sign that said they weren't responsible. But when they got the letter from one of our Legal Shield attorneys, he promptly gave us a check for $1,152. Worry less and live more with lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com or call 855-340-SAVE. That's 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Hour number 2 of USA Prepares with Captain John Regan, the financial state of the union.com. John, we were talking about some of the lightning round topics, and one of them was inventing logic to explain things that are happening around us by the zombies. And one that triggered my thoughts about, the discussion I was having with our son yesterday in the truck. And he was explaining to me that he is seeing these small merchants who are increasingly requesting that they get inventory from their suppliers for their small shops and stores on increasing amounts of credit. So what's happening is these merchants are saying, I'll tell you what, I want to pay you what I owe you, but you need to send me some more inventory so I can sell that inventory to pay the bill that I owe you already. So it's more and more inventory on more and more credit. And what this is turning out to be is a slippery slope that is not sustainable. And it's not just my son that was telling me that that's what he is observing in small businesses, but I've talked to many other merchants, and it's happening all over. And you add to that, John, that on the way to St. Louis, I could not believe the large percentage of billboards, outdoor advertising that is just painted over and says, says rent me, meaning you can lease this billboard. And I would say maybe 1/3 to 40% or so of the billboards that I saw were just painted white. available for rent. Just one more sign of decline, in addition to the number of businesses that were vacant, for lease, for rent, for sale. So I see what you're saying, and we are inventing logic to try to convince us that things are not as they really are.
And that gets into what we're seeing in the wonderful fake reports like GDP, where all these inventory increases count as GDP increases, but there's no real activity going on in the economy. And if they were honest about it, there's no way they could justify a rate hike, but they're doing everything they can to justify doing that rate hike. And then when they do that hike, that makes things look even worse. I've talked about the news I broke at the expo, where just at current rates for debt service and government expense, everything government spends, state, local, federal, those two items will be greater than total income for the country by 2020. And those calculations were based on no increases in interest rates. As soon as those interest rates increase, that debt service number goes up faster, and government expense for debt service goes up as well. So it'll be a whammy. And then when you start adding on these energy regulations that will hamper business, increase costs, we're looking at a disaster coming up down the road sooner than most people believe.
And John, I've mentioned many times over the last few weeks that I'm looking at machinery and for the farm, just to keep us in operation. And what I've learned, John, is that these machines are being sold to third world countries. Literally, they're being bought. Machines to make machines, machines to make parts, machines to repair. Those kinds of machines are being sold as machines of several decades ago are going to third world countries because not everybody wants them here. Not everyone knows how to use them here. So I'm just trying to figure out how this is all going to work. Joey sent me an image of a mining machine in China. This thing is like, think of it like this. Think of it like a Ferris wheel. But instead of seats where you sit on the Ferris wheel, each seat would be a scoop for excavating. And this machine would be on a large crane, and it just goes down into, digs into the dirt with an operation kind of like a Ferris wheel. I mean, it's that kind of dimensions. We don't have anything like that. So we are losing ground. We're not paying attention. We don't have hobbies. We don't have pursuits. Intellectual pursuits. The brain trust is leaving. We're lazy, unhealthy, and all of this, I believe, is a result of what the government has done. John, have you heard of schools having science fairs? Even the science fairs seem to be disappearing, where students would try to compete with each other with intellectual curiosity and building gadgets and learning about biology and plants, physiology and physics and electronics. What's happened to that? I think it's going to take generations to fix this, and I think Mrs. Finelli is right. The greatest generation, when they came back from the war, they were interested in fulfilling their dreams. They were greedy. Our generation has neglected our children, and our children are lost. You know, I'm looking at one of our sons who would like to find, you know, the right woman. He can't seem to find the right woman. He can't seem to find one who has not had children before. He can't seem to find one who's not tattooed and branded. He can't seem to find one who's not a drug addict. He can't seem to find one who has values and morals. He can't seem to find one who's paying attention. He can't seem to find one who wants to learn. I feel terrible for him. It's not like he's funny looking. He's really bright. And he'd like to find someone who has a degree of honor, morals, wants to plan for the future, and he can't because they're not out there. How do we get to this point? And you know, if I had to find a mate today, I don't know what I'd do. People are really messed up. And you know, John,
I got very, very lucky. And I think we told you the story. Becky and I met through a personal ad. Shortly after my mother had died, I found, you know, this paper, which is from a different county in Texas. And that's how we met. And, you know, like I say, we just had our anniversary. You know, it's been a 23-year honeymoon, and I would absolutely dread life if I had to go out and try to find a replacement.
Right. I met Mrs. Finelli in 4th grade, and to me, she was the prettiest girl in the class, and she still is. And I was very, very fortunate as well. But today, it's a real uphill challenge for a person to find a suitable mate. It really is. And you know, how do you get past the nose rings, the ear hoops, the tattoos, the branding, you know, the experimentation with drugs? How do you get past all that and find the right mate? Man, oh man, I really don't know the answer, but I can't imagine it being at a bar. I mean, what are you going to find at a bar? You know, someone who's depressed, right? And you know, with the families that people are related to, man, oh man, so many families are dysfunctional. And you marry the family as well as, you know, your spouse. Now you bring along a whole bunch more problems. You know, how many people are related to people in jail? And these multi-linked families. I mean, I don't even know what you call these families that have so many families related to. Let me say it this way. I was on the phone with Bob Chapman, and we were talking about choosing, you know, parents choosing the spouse for their children. And I thought, yeah, I'm all for that. I really am. And Bob Chapman kind of indicated, like, well, imagine if we let the children decide completely for themselves. Imagine what the family reunion would be like. He said you'd have to let some people, to have a complete family reunion, you'd have to release a bunch of people from prison and jail. Now, some people obviously are put in jail, you know, wrongly, like Mike Parsons. But imagine the ones who are not. What that family reunion might be like. Interesting. What's next on our list?
Well, part of that is the war on men, and we'll get to that after the break.
Okay. John Regan, Captain John Regan, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. If you click on the news tab, you can follow along with us. The War on Men. Boy, this ought to be interesting. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
The human body is extraordinary despite all the stress we inflict upon it. Thousands of people across the country use an extremely effective product to help their body stay balanced. It's Heart and Body Extract, an all-natural herbal formula designed to help maintain healthy blood pressure, clean arteries, promote good circulation, and balance cholesterol. Heart and Body Extract, along with good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free from pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of Heart and Body Extract. Learn more and read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers at heartandbody.com. Heart and Body Extracts offers a lifetime guarantee with no price increase in over 14 years. For free info, call 866-295-5305 now. That's 866-295-5305 or heartandbody.com. Distributor inquiries welcome. 866-295-5305.
John Regan's with us. John, you're going to talk about men.
There's several bigger picture items we haven't gotten to in the last couple of weeks or so, and the first two of them happen to deal with the war on men. The first one, men is obsolete, and the second one, and worse than dogs. The first one talks about how they've grown sperm in the lab for the first time. And they say that soon they'll be able to carry out human trials. So that it's touted as a breakthrough to help infertile men. But, hey, why do you need men at all if you can just make it in the lab? And I know I'm probably going to get flack for this next one.
Well, hold it right there. I heard a story yesterday from a person who has firsthand knowledge of this. It's a young girl, about 23 years old, 20, 21, 22, 23. And she's a surrogate mom. And, you know, she's dating people. You know, she's looking for her own Mr., you know, her own husband. She wants to meet the right guy. But in the meantime, she's a surrogate mom. Now, how's that going to work? How's that going to work? And so who is she a surrogate mom for? A gay guy. So some guy who's gay wants a child. So this young girl is going to be the surrogate mom. And at the same time, she wants to find her husband. Now, who's going to be dating this pregnant girl who's carrying a child for this gay guy? How's that going to work? It's pretty complicated, don't you think? And what about after the birth of this child? Is she going to want to see her son, or is that not her son? We're getting off into a world that does not make a lot of sense for me. How does that work? It's way too complicated. Back to you.
I'm probably going to get some flack for the second article there. Because I can imagine all the husbands calling me, you know, hey, why did you let my wife know about that? There's a 5-month-old German Shepherd that can use the toilet. He puts the toilet seat down, flushes, and even helps load the dishwasher. So,
yeah.
You can imagine the flack a lot of guys are going to get from that. See, even the dog puts the toilet seat down.
Yeah. Well, okay, since you mentioned toilets, I said to Mrs. Finelli, and this was over the weekend, I said, we're TJ, our English Mastiff, slobbers a lot. And I feel bad, and my wife feels bad for all the other animals that share the same bowl. Because if TJ gets there first, it is slobbery, it's thick, it's drool, and no one wants to use the water bowl after TJ. So we have several of them. We have inside the kitchen, and we have this great big, you could think of it like a pizza dish underneath his water bowl. And that contains some of his slobber, okay, in the kitchen, but not all of it. So he really needs like a 6-foot circle around his water bowl to contain most of his slobber. And there's not enough room for 6 feet of water containment around his water bowl. So I said to Mrs. Finelli, you know, there is a perfect water bowl for TJ. And we could put it outside. And it's a toilet, you know, like a 1960s toilet, porcelain. And after TJ drinks, all we do is go out there and flush it. And then it's, you know, fresh water for the next dog. And we could flush this several times a day. And they could all have fresh water, and no one will be mad at TJ for, you know, trashing the water bowl if they drink after him. So I was thinking about doing that, really. Now, I'd probably want to do something so it didn't look like we had a toilet in the backyard, but it's the ultimate solution. So maybe we can learn from these dogs or this dog who does know how to put the lid down and who can load the dishwasher. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Yuvia needed financing to grow her restaurant business, but her bank simply didn't understand.
I was frustrated.
Yuvia found On Deck Business Loans.
On Deck did it for me. I called on Saturday, and I had $50,000 in my account on Monday morning.
How about the terms?
Incredibly easy. It doesn't mess with your cash flow.
On Deck changed everything.
This company, On Deck, is going to be there for me.
Was it a good move?
I'm looking to increase sales probably 30%.
Been in business for at least a year with $100,000 plus in revenue? On Deck can get you $5,000 to $250,000 in as little as one business day, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau.
On Deck has opened up so many doors for me now. Truly, the sky is the limit. I'm excited.
Apply now at ondecklending.com or call 800-326-5430. 800-326-5430. 800-326-5430.
Loan subject to lender approval.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Captain John Regan's with us, and Dave in Michigan. Welcome.
Welcome. Hey, Vincent. Hey, John. How you guys doing this morning?
Very, very well. Glad you're here. How can we help you?
I just wanted to say there's a call tonight, a conference call. It's a law call but they're having a special guest, Dane Wigington. You guys know him. He's been on your show many times. geoengineeringwatch.org. This call is a call to action, and they're looking for people to hear what's going on and then come up with ways to combat or stop or do something about these chemtrails that are going on around us. And I know you've got some horrific stories about the chemtrail storms and all that, but if I could, I'd love to give out this number for tonight's call.
That would be great. And Dave, I wanted in the worst way to be part of that call last night, another call last night, and I was unable to do it. I had to race out to St. Louis, and I was gone till about 1 o'clock in the morning, so I missed last night's call. But you've got another one with Dane Wigington tonight. Sounds great. Let's give out the number. How do we participate in this call?
Okay, I'll give out the number twice, and then there's a PIN number. It's 805-399-1200. That's 805-399-1200. And the PIN number is 779159 #. That's 779159 #. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a regular Thursday night call at that time. The website for that is the number 42action.org. That's 42action.org. So, I haven't had him confirmed for sure that he's going to be on tonight, but I had to call you and get it out on the show. If everybody could tune in, there's another call at 9 called the Republic News Network, and I do not have that number, but they will give it out on that call tonight. If Dane is not on Randy's call or the 42 Action, he'll be on that Republic number, and I'll make sure that gets out to everybody on the call.
All right, what I'll do, I'll call Dane right after this broadcast, and I'll verify that, and I will put it on our website. So if he's going to be there, I'll post that on the website, and I will do my best to be there. So this is a call to action. You're talking about climate change, violent climate change, the same thing that John Moore is talking about, Dane Wigington is talking about. Dane, I know, is extremely, extremely concerned. I'll use the word alarmed at what's happening, and you can look at the death and destruction in Oklahoma and Texas. So here's that number, 805-399-1200. 805-399-1200. Now, I have not verified this, but we're going on Dave's word on this, and the PIN number to access this is 779159 #. 779159 #, and that's 7 p.m. Central Time.
Correct.
7 p.m. tonight, Central Time. So I'll call Dane Wigington, put it on our website, and see if we can get the word out. And I will do my best to be part of this call. Dane Wigington and I appreciate it. Dave and the Thumb, thanks so much for letting us know about this.
You're welcome.
And Dave
Have a great day, and keep up the good work, you guys.
Hey, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Dane Wigington and I are buddies. We've never met, but we are absolutely on the same page. I know, John Regan, you're on the same page as well.
Right.
So, yeah. And, John, the amount of rain that you've had in Texas, records, right? Record rain.
Right now, for the Dallas area, we're 1 1/3 inches away from being the wettest May on record.
Okay, almost. So you're close to it. But the flooding, the devastation, the infrastructure destruction. And John, let's just take 1 minute and talk about that, because this is really important. Class, when there's flooding like this, what happens is water enters the gas station buried fuel tanks. Water enters the tanks. The pressure of the water on the pavement is so great that the water will push its way into the into the fuel tanks that are underground. It will mix with the gasoline. It will mix with the diesel. And then it's possible that when you turn that pump on, you're going to get some water in your fuel tank. That means that typically the fuel tank in your vehicle will have to be taken out, cleaned out, in order to get the water out so your engine will run. So my recommendation is to never get fuel when two things are happening. When there's been a huge rain, don't get fuel for several days. Make sure you have fuel before that happens. So try not to let your fuel tank go below half. That's one thing. The other thing is never get fuel when the fuel delivery tanker is delivering fuel to your gas station. Because what happens is the fuel that's going down the pipe into the underground tank is causing turbulence in the tank. And that dirty fuel seems to go past some of the filters and into your fuel tank. So I would avoid buying fuel when a gas station or a fuel station is getting a delivery. And I don't buy it for hours until after the delivery, if I absolutely have to. Next thing is the cross-connecting of sewage with the drinking water supply. When there's a lot of rain like this, it's not a good time to drink municipal water because of the bacteria that's contained in the water by the cross-connecting of the sewage with the drinking water supply. So you should have already had your water ready to go. And when you see situations like this, you don't drink the municipal water supply. You just don't do it. If you absolutely have to, you need to boil the water. But, boiling the water only kills the bacteria. What it doesn't do is it doesn't remove the chemical contaminants. It doesn't. They're still there. The way to get rid of them is, there's two ways. One is distillation. The other is using a water filtration system, such as the Berkey or my favorite, which would be the ProPure. Okay. And if you decide that you want one of those, they'll be available this weekend. Judy and John Dollarhite will have our inventory, USA Prepares inventory, at the Preppers and Patriots Expo in Mountain Home, Arkansas. I'll be there on Saturday, and I'll be teaching a free seminar on starting your own business and taking the same tax deductions the rich take. And what does that mean? That means if you take the same deductions that the rich take and you start your business and you carefully do it, you can buy products, survival and preparedness products for your business, for your own evaluation, so you can report on them on your business on the internet. And they can be legitimate tax deductions. And I'm going to show you how you can do it. Seminar's free. Mountain Home, Arkansas, at the Preppers and Patriots Expo. Judy Dollarhite's going to be talking about water filtration, and she'll be teaching you a lot of what you need to know. And you can ask her questions all day for the entire weekend. So there'll be a bunch of us there, and Sam Bushman will be there, John Moore, Tim Starks, Mike Knox, White Harvest Seeds, Dr. James Caesar will be talking about surgery when there's no doctor. And we're going to try to have a talk show hosts dinner. So Sam Bushman will be there, I'll be there, and John Moore will be there, and we're going to try to see if we can have dinner with you guys. So if you want, it'll be Dutch. We'll just find a restaurant, and we'll all go and have a great time. So that's Saturday night in Mountain Home, Arkansas, at the Baxter County Fairgrounds. Baxter County Fairgrounds. Admission's absolutely free. We'll see you there. John Regan?
Now, let me run through these last four articles. Virtual death, the four-state election, cash value, and the winner. Virtual death, it's a story about a woman in Michigan that found out that she died in 2014. Somebody reported her Social Security number that she was deceased, so she's not been able to get her tax return her tax refund. Her driver's license is showing her as deceased, and she may lose her job because you have to be a licensed pharmacist to do that work. And if she's dead, she can't do that. And it's disturbing. They tell her that, yeah, we'll have this fixed, and it was already over 3 months, and this was a month ago. I have not seen an update on this. But I want you to think about when we get to the point where we don't have cash as an option anymore. We're using that electronic cash, and you get in this virtual death situation. Now you can't use your bank account. And, hey, he will get it fixed, but what are you going to do in the months in the meantime? Possibly some good news. We have an election coming up, and there's going to be a battle on, and what the professionals know is that most of the states don't matter. They're already locked up. And there's only 7 states that are a toss-up, and about 4 of those really matter at all. And the big ones that are toss-ups, Ohio, Virginia, Florida, the other states are Nevada, Colorado, Iowa, and New Hampshire. But those 4 have a small number of electoral votes. So if we wanted to influence this next election, if we just concentrated on Florida, Virginia, and Ohio, well, we could stand a good chance of trying to make things right.
John, it's really hard to see us fixing very much in this country other than our own personal situations. When we come back, we've got Wayne in Texas. We'll get to your calls as soon as we get back.
By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. All over America, people are suffering from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, irregular heartbeat, clogged arteries, and high cholesterol. Can you live your life free from sickness, pain, and fear, and experience your body healing itself? Look to Heart and Body Extract, an all-natural supplement that aids ailing bodies. It has an exclusive formula of wild-crafted and organic herbs. End the pain without all the side effects of prescription drugs. People 20 years younger will envy your vitality. Want a happier, healthier you? Then go to heartandbody.com or call toll-free 866-295-5305 for free information. Heart and Body Extract offers a lifetime guarantee with no price increase in over 14 years. What are you waiting for? Call Heart and Body now at 866-295-5305 for your free information. Go to heartandbody.com, 866-295-5305. Distributor inquiries welcome.
Are you suffering from EP? The symptoms include fraudulent charges to your credit card. Your subway card says it's empty, but you bought it yesterday. Someone's been in your hotel room, but the desk clerk says they only show you entering the room. These are signs of EP. Electronic pickpocketing. Payment cards, transit cards, even hotel room keys use a radio chip, so you could just wave your card at the register, the turnstile, or your hotel room door. But what's convenient for you is also convenient for thieves, waving scanners to electronically pickpocket you without even touching you. The good news is there's a cure. ID Stronghold has created leather wallets and clutches that have built-in EP protection. Layers of shielding material cleverly concealed in a beautiful leather wallet that stops the symptoms of EP. Go to idstronghold.com now and get the cure. idstronghold.com. Warning, ID Stronghold wallets could lead to feelings of safety and security, comfort in crowds, and euphoria. If you experience these emotions, immediately inform your friends and family about idstronghold.com so they can feel better too.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years, and Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendovite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Good people need help. The Homeowners Association said we had weeds and fined us $25. We told them they had the wrong house. They said if we didn't pay it, they'd file a lien. Our attorney demanded photographs, witnesses, and told them if they couldn't provide this, they must cease and desist. Issue solved. Worry less and live more with lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com or call 855-340-SAVE. That's 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
John Regan's with us, and Wayne in Texas. You're on with John Regan and me. Welcome.
Yeah, hi, Vince. Good show as usual.
Well, thank you. How can we help you?
Yeah, the reason I wanted to call in was I think earlier you were discussing some issues about what's happening to men in general, maybe possibly a war on men. And I think this is very complicated, but there's obvious examples of how men are being portrayed, like in TV shows, commercials, and movies, as goofy, beer-drinking fools, that are very incompetent. And I think as this works its way through our system, I'm starting to see, or have seen for some time, a lot of our young men almost seem like they're not allowed to develop their masculine skills, and they don't know how to handle a lot of situations. I've had young men work for me that seem very unsure of themselves, no confidence at all, and very little ability to deal with certain things that pop up. And I've tried to mentor them and give them ideas and ways to develop some of their confidence and all that. But I see this as being an ongoing battle, with younger men as well as middle-aged and older men, the way we're portrayed. And I hope this becomes something maybe we can keep the focus on it and have some other folks come on, and could be good, just good interviewees where they can discuss this stuff and maybe offer ideas to where men like myself can continue to mentor the young guys coming up, because we have very, very big problems in this area.
Mm-hmm. Well, I totally agree. So if you're a man out there and you would like to become faculty here at usaprepares.com and you have a message, give me a call and I'll give you my phone number. 417-462-1105, 417-462-1105. That's my phone number at the farm, 417-462-1105. So give us a call. We'd love to chat with you. And if you feel that you've got a message, we'll talk about getting you on the air with that message. You're absolutely right. And, it reminds me of the military recruiters. And I was talking with another one of our sons a couple days ago, and he was telling me that the recruiters that came to high school lied to the young men.
to get them to enlist, and literally lied to them. And I asked him, one of the guys was sent to Japan twice, and that's not what he was supposed to do. He was led to believe he'd go someplace else. So he enlisted in the Marines. He went to Japan, and he was lied to. And then while this is happening, the guy who recruited him was dating this guy's girlfriend. Can you imagine? And so I said to my son, is he going to kill him? Is his friend going to kill the recruiter? And I wasn't kidding.
Wow.
So, he said no, he's not going to.
Just to keep my point just real quickly is, a nation is known by the men it produces. And right now, so many of our young men are feminized and just so doggone unsure of themselves that, it's not a good, the future doesn't look very bright for a lot of these young men. And to take it one step further, considering the business side of things, I know in the business I'm in, if you're a white male, you're at the end of the line now. There's women-owned businesses that get preferences for government contracts, black-owned, hub-zone. I mean, they have numerous different types of scenarios where these people get preferences. And, again, that has to stop, too, because, again, by far, some of the best business people out there are white males along with, white females, blacks, do a very good job owning their businesses, but it just seems like everything is tilted so far now for minorities and women that young men can't even go out and hardly create a business from scratch like a lot of us have done. And I feel like that has to change.
I totally agree with that. And the reason I mentioned this thing about the recruiter is, you might look at these guys as role models. What kind of a role model is that? So not only are we becoming feminized, men becoming feminized, but we're the role models. How do you look up to a guy who recruits you, sends you off to a far land, and then dates your girlfriend? I mean, what kind of a role model is that? What kind of a role model are these ball players, which are branded and tattooed and scarred and wild party goers? I mean, we don't have role models anymore. That's one of the problems.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Vince.
Thanks so much, Wayne. John, I think he's right. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll bring up a couple of links for Monday.
Okay. John Regan will be back with us on Monday. John Regan, the financialstateoftheunion.com. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next? It's up to you.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low, and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA Vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class.